Hello, welcomes back everyone, and Wolf here with even more Star Wars The Old Republic. And where we last left off, we travelled to the east of Fort Garnick here over to Manid Point, where the separatists had got control of a supply outpost and were storing the ZR-57 orbital strike bomb. Unfortunately, before we arrived, it seems the explosive had been moved. Unfortunately, while we do have some data from the outpost from the separatist base itself, we are still trying to decrypt that information. In the meantime, however, a labourer from a local village has arrived at Fort Garnick, or was briefly visiting Fort Garnick, suffering from extreme radiation sickness. Such radiation sickness may have occurred from mishandling the ZR-57, and we've been asked to investigate. We've also been asked to fabricate a cure from medical supplies stolen by scavengers to help ease the negotiations. So, we're now going to be heading out of Fort Garnick once again, and on our way to Oradam Village. One thing to mention before we start, I did look back at the footage of Part 4 when we were over at Manid Point at the at the medical room of the separatists, and yeah, they did indeed try to surrender. So yeah, we are committing war crimes apparently. Now, two things. As you may notice, the dialogue wheel does not exactly give you as a player an idea of how your character is going to react. It gives you a brief idea, but the words are not exactly the same as stated on the dialogue wheel. In addition, we could make various excuses for Isaac Clarke here. Of course, we were in the middle of a combat zone. We were going to just let them go. We weren't just going to we weren't handing them over to Republic forces, so we could have got ourselves surrounded by separatist forces if they called for aid, if they told anyone we were there in the middle of their base. There was plenty of separatists that would probably overwhelm us eventually. In addition, we are wielding an autocannon which is extremely loud, and, you know, our hearing may not be the best. I'm just grasping for excuses, but they are just that. They are excuses. Isaac Clarke probably should have known better, and this may end up weighing on his conscience as the series goes on. Of course, as the series goes on, we're probably going to end up doing a lot worse. Probably. I will probably leave something a like to this in the comment of the previous part as well, but because I haven't made that part public yet, I thought I'd just get it out the way here and now. But, oh, that's the wrong button. There you go, bring the UI back up. Let's equip our assault cannon. We have chosen to go with the assault specialist discipline for the moment. So yeah, we are going to be setting our enemies on fire before putting them out of their misery. So, you know, we're just prolonging the suffering of our enemies. But, so be it. So, did we have any codex entries? I think we did end up picking up one in regards to, I think maybe the Republic Special Forces. But we read that at the end of the last part. This all seems fine. So yeah, we're working now with Needles of Havoc Squad, looking for this labourer known as Zach. So, if we look at the world map here, Oradam Village is to the northwest. There is a beach on the western coast, and that's where the scavengers were last located who may have the medical components to create a cure for the radiation poisoning. We could, of course, use the Republic transport service droids to travel directly over to Oradam Village. But there's a few quests we will discover on the way. Let's have a quick look. Level 17. Don't think any of our stats have been capped as of yet. I could be mistaken. Okay, so we're heading into the Badlands now. See various, maybe ruined starships. We have another Republic walker in the distance. We'd actually see along our buff tag there, like our buff line here. We can see our stacks of supercharge slowly increasing.
Kind of a strange place for a protocol droid.
It's horrible. Just horrible. They're barbarians. They've killed them all, and now my mistress is in terrible danger.
Slow down and start over.
My mistress and I were on assignment for the Republic Corps of Engineers at Fort Garnick. Our team was sent to repair a malfunctioning power generator. We were attacked by armed men. Separatists, I think. I only got away because they didn't consider me a threat. My mistress is still up there. I fear for her life. Please, you must rescue her.
I'll head there immediately.
Thank the Maker. She's hiding near the power generator at the top of the ridge. Please, hurry.
And we can indeed see that power generator in the distance. One thing to note in the Star Wars universe, there's a lot of obviously shield technology, and yet for the most part, I'm not sure if this is a lore reason, but the shield generators always seem to be located outside of the object they're meant to be shielding, making it an extremely vulnerable spot for anyone who wants to disable said shield. I think for the most part it's always the case, so maybe the shield cannot be located within the item it's shielding. Now, on our way up to this engineer, of course we have more separatists. We have another bonus mission. Even if the generator is restored, the separatist forces in this area could easily overwhelm the Republic and probably destroy the generator again. Deal with the separatist saboteurs. While we're up this way, you know how we had that achievement for defeating some unique enemies? Well, a couple of them are over here. We have Champion Jack Strog and Specialist Dev Barkus. Seems to be working on some kind of probe here.
Don't be afraid. Your droid sent me. I'm here to rescue you.
Where were you when those savages were slaughtering my co-workers? Forget it. I've got bigger problems right now. I was sent here to complete a mission, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. I can't do this without tools. This generator supplies power to Fort Garnick. It's been sabotaged. It overheats and the fort's defenses, the infirmary, they'll all go down. People are gonna die.
Then you better get to work. I'll stand guard for you.
Our equipment was scattered in the attack. I can hold the generator steady, but I need my tools, and the liquid coolant to fix it.
I'll try to find them for you.
Move fast. We don't have a lot of time.
It just so happens that the separatist saboteurs that we've been asked to deal with as part of the bonus mission also are carrying the equipment the engineer requires, which is very handy. So we need 5... Oh, hello. Oh. Where are you hiding? 5 canisters of liquid coolant, a hydrospanner, multi-tool, and a turbo hammer. Oh. Well, there's most of the items. We need 3 more canisters of liquid coolant. Now, you don't have what I need, but there are some separatists hiding behind you. Who might? Thank you.
Fantastic. The temperature's already dropping. We'll be at full power in a few minutes. You did a good thing. Thank you.
Happy to pitch in.
You deserve something for your trouble. Thanks again.
Not a problem.
I've got a few more adjustments to make, and I'll take it from here. Thanks for your help.
You are welcome. So, to the north. I've seen this a few times and never mentioned it, but we can obviously see a larger Republic, I'm guessing, vessel in the distance there. Maybe brought down during the Great War? Or maybe even the Separatists somehow managed to bring it down. I'm guessing it's the remains of a ship from the Great War. If we go along this way, we might find... Yeah, I think this is the final unique target we were asked to find as part of the achievement. This demolition chief. on our way over to Oradam Village. There's a series of structures and craters here in the Badlands, as well as it looks like some unexploded ordnance, along with some soldiers of the Mantellian military.
Hey, what's this then? Another wower looking to make a little scratch on the side, I'll bet. What'll it be then? Running or betting?
This is a blasted minefield.
Woohoo! We got ourselves a smart one. Everyone look out. Captain Intellect here is gonna wow and amaze you.
Ignore this moron. He thinks he's clever. Lucky for him he's so handsome or he'd be no use at all. We've got a little obstacle course here. You can run the course or you can bet on other runners. Mostly the refugees run, but you're welcome to play too.
No, I think you missed the entire point I mentioned.
You call this an obstacle course?
Well, an obstacle's no fun if it doesn't have a little kick.
Look, these poor sods have nothing, and we don't have enough supplies for even half of them. So we let them gamble. The credits help pay for more supplies, and when one of the refugees gets lucky, they get enough gear to really help them out.
I don't imagine you get a lot of people running this course twice.
Not everyone who loses dies.
Yeah, some of them are just really, really injured. We even have some veterans who keep coming back for more.
Anyway, if you want to bet or run the course, just see Ensign Peters. He'll get you set up.
Your conduct is disgusting. Wait until your superiors hear about this.
Oh yeah, go tattle all you want. I'm sure that drunk ethics officer at Fort Garnick is gonna care.
Dreg, shut up.
What? Oh yeah. Never mind. Forget about that. Go on, cry to your milk mama, you baby.
Okay, yeah. The Mantellian soldiers are indeed corrupt. I understand their situation in a sense, and that the refugees are desperate. To run a minefield, however? Well, good luck to you.
Nothing to see here.
Now, we could head on our way to Oradam Village. Instead, however, we're going to travel further to the west and find the scavengers. Who made off with some of the Republic medical equipment. Ooh, what was that? Dark spores. These can be turned in at the Depository of Dark Wisdom on the Republic or the Imperial Fleet to earn reputation. This was part of one of the seasonal events that was happening. I believe that event has ended because we're now on a different season. I wonder if we can still earn reputation, however. I don't know. Yep, here we are at the beach. We have separatists amongst the various scavengers. Come on. This is waiting for you to come into range. Yeah, here's the scavengers here. So the scavengers themselves. We have the two lookouts and the scavenger who have the Albazine. I'm sure they have the other medical equipment as well. Yep, okay, perfect. We picked up all 3 of the needed medical components. But we did pick up a bonus mission as well. Scavengers along the beach are attacking anyone who comes near their salvage. Deal with any of these scavenger lookouts along the beachhead here next to Oradam Village. Oh, there's our supercharge maximized. So we can now allow our periodic damage to be improved by 10%. Okay, let's find a couple of more lookouts to complete this bonus mission. We have Savrip Island in the distance here. We talked about Savrip Island at the end of part 3, I believe it was, when we passed by the Avilaten spaceport. That's a bonus mission complete. It also gained us level 18. And let's get ourselves over to Oradam Village to interrogate this laborer. We haven't talked about some of the other nameplates that we see. So we have some of the friendly local wildlife here. The shoal razoron. We know it's friendly because it's obviously got a green nameplate. Yellow indicates that they are neutral. We can actually engage them and fight them, but they won't fight us unless we engage them first. And of course, red indicates that they are hostile. You'll also see blue nameplates, which normally mean they are fellow friendly players. And red will also indicate hostile players as well. In fact, can we change the coloration? I can't remember if we can. Combat style colors? Oh, that's not what I want. Because we want nameplates on enemy players. We want to keep that active. I don't think we can.
Report your ailments.
Being able to differentiate between
You are fit for duty. Return to your
enemy
post.
NPCs and enemy players might have been handy. We have Odar here, a villager of Oradam Village who would like to have a word. We have Gizmal, of course. He is offering a repeatable mission, one of the heroics. The heroic we didn't pick up at the heroic mission terminal. We're going to head out of Oradam Village for just a moment, because the codex entry didn't actually pop up. There we go. What do we know of Oradam Village? In contrast to the working-class origins of Talaran Village, Oradam was a beachfront paradise for wealthy trader barons and their families. These men and women spent their profits constructing elaborate homes and relaxing by the sea. Their freely flowing credits attracted numerous merchants and artisans to Oradam, many of whom remained long after their wealthy patrons fled. Oradam is the last uncontested Republic village on the island of Avilaten, partially because it holds very little strategic significance. Its importance to the separatists is mostly symbolic. Republic strategists theorize that if the encroaching separatists were to successfully invade Oradam, the enemy would most likely burn the village to the ground as a way of spiting the corrupt upper class. I see. What a lovely place. Now, we are gonna have to head back to Fort Garnick very shortly. Let's go speak to Odar first.
You! Get away from me! You did this to me! Dirty soldiers beating an old man, stealing his daughter!
I promise. Whoever did this to you was not acting under Republic orders.
Then help me. Don't turn a blind eye, like the rest. Please help. My daughter means everything to me. Help me get my daughter back. Help!
I don't understand why soldiers would take your daughter. Where would they take her?
I don't know. There's been a string of abductions lately. But I never thought they'd take her. I never thought they'd take my Coel. They were headed toward the fort. Please find my daughter.
You've got my word.
Please, hurry. I want to see my daughter again. Please, my daughter. You have to help my daughter. She's been taken to Fort Garnick.
I see. Soldiers came and took his daughter. There's a few reasons now why we need to return to Fort Garnick. Before we do anything like that, why don't we head over to Savrip Island? We might as well clear the heroics, get them out of the way. With that in mind, let's disable some of these missions and pick up the heroics instead.
Hey, you there. You got a second? Talk politics, talk shop, talk business maybe? I've got business to talk if you're interested in talking. Name's Gizmelgan. I'm with the government here. So what do you say? Interested in doing a little work? For me? For you. For the Republic.
You have my undivided attention.
Here's the situation. I look after one of the outlying villages, and this village is, well, faltering in its love of the Republic. People are restless, see? The separatists bring them stuff, and they start thinking the separatists are right. Then they get uppity, start talking about revolt, start getting violent. It's chaos everywhere.
Where do I come in?
I figure the best way to win the village over is to beat the separatists at their own game. Lavish the villagers with gifts. Show them we care, too. So I ordered a shipment of supplies. But now I get word the shipment's lost out in Savrip territory. I need someone to go get it.
I'll do whatever it takes to return your shipment.
Fine. Good. That's all I ask. Have a look. The shipment had a droid escort, I believe, so I'd look for that if I were you. It was last seen on Savrip Island. Savrips, you know, massive, vicious beasts. Each of her dinner soon as look at you.
Interesting. So his supply of gifts went down on Savrip Island.
The shipment. You got it yet? No. Well, get it then.
Normally, we shouldn't head to Savrip Island until we have either another player in our party or we have our first companion. But we're level 18, despite us being level synced. We should be able to handle it. In addition to finding this down shipment, we do have another couple of heroic missions available to us. Let's go see what these are all about. Ord Mantell authorities report that an unusually hostile tribe of Mantellian Savrips have been attacking Republic patrols on the island near Oradam Village. The Republic is offering a bounty for any of the tribe chieftains in an effort to reduce their aggressive behavior. We need to locate 5 of these Savrip chieftains. And in addition, a Republic Sergeant, at least I think she was a Republic Sergeant, has asked us to destroy separatist jamming beacons that were installed on Savrip Island that have downed countless Republic supply ships. He promises credits and additional supplies if you can come through. And there are 4 of these jamming beacons on the island itself. It used to be that the quest giver for the beacon heroic was standing up at this medical supply tent, but obviously she was removed at some point. No matter. And here we are on Savrip Island. We actually have a codex entry for the island itself. The thin sliver of beach colloquially referred to as Savrip Island derives its name from the hulking brutish creatures that infest it. For whatever reasons, the Savrips inhabiting the islet rarely stray from its borders. But on the other hand, they do not appreciate uninvited guests. Beachcombers have disappeared in this deadly region for decades. Local legends tell of a clever crime lord known as Frang the Toothless, who negotiated a deal with the Savrips. In return for Frang being allowed to dump his enemies on Savrip Island, the gangster promised to provide the natives with a steady food supply. It is said both sides benefited tremendously from this arrangement. Yeah, I'm sure they did. We have some of the Savrips right here. We do have a bonus to deal with 10 of these wild Savrips. Large lumbering creatures with huge claws and an aggressive temperament. We actually have our first champion enemy here. No, it's not indicated above the minimap here. Sometimes it will be. Savrip Island is considered, or at least I would consider it, a heroic area. This normally indicates that the groups of enemies you encounter are of an increased difficulty. You'll find less weak and standard enemies and more groups of strong and elite enemies banding together, which is why they can be quite dangerous. There was no reason for us to pick a fight with the Savrip champion. Now, sometimes there is actually a large security chest here, just on the sand, next to the champion. Which is normally a good reason why you may want to deal with the beast and the separatists monitoring it. But we did actually pick up a entry on the Savrip species. It's in the bestiary. Now, it's not really relevant. We're not going to be dealing with too many Savrips. No, we will encounter more far into the future. The Savrip's bestial appearance leads many to dismiss them as nothing more than monstrous hulking predators that attack on instinct. This is far from the case, as anyone who has gotten close to a Savrip can attest. Would a mindless animal really wear a tanned hide and belt made from Gapillion grazers? Despite their brutish and primitive appearance, Savrips are an intelligent species capable of communication. Unfortunately for the average Ord Mantellian, Savrips are actively hostile to other life forms. Previously content to remain in their home territories, recent surges in Savrip attacks have led authorities to speculate a separatist Savrip alliance. Ah, really? Looks like people have been clearing the beach of late. Here's one of these jamming beacons as well. And here's one of those Savrip chieftains. Oh, Christ. You'll notice that our explosive round has procced. It's been highlighted. Rather than costing 20 energy cells, it would briefly be costing us 10, and it would deal additional damage. We do have to be careful with the Savrip chieftains. Like the champion, they have a knockback ability. Not as if they can knock us off a cliff, but they could knock us into additional enemies. We have the down supply ship here, and here's the droid escort.
Protocol failure. Cannot complete mission. Cannot complete shipment delivery. Oradam Village. Protocol failure.
Are you the droid with the supply shipment?
I have the supplies. They are safe. Delivery failed due to protocol failure. Coordinates to destination unreadable. Attacked by species Savrip, a hulking beast. Movement failure. However, shipment is intact. Item, contraband drug known only as spice. Origin, Kessel. Destination, Gizmail Gam, Ord Mantell.
What does Gizmail Gam want with spice?
The shipment is filed under Village Relief. This mission must be completed. Will you take the shipment to Gizmail Gam?
Now, heroic missions nowadays will normally automatically complete unless they have a follow-up quest. Let me just escape out of this conversation and see what a reply would be to another... what the response would be to another answer in the dialogue wheel.
protocol failure. Cannot complete mission. Cannot complete shipment delivery or...
Are you the droid with the supply shipment?
I have delivery failed due to... However, shipment is intact. Item, contraband drug known only as spice. Origin, Kessel. Destination, Gizmel Gam, Ord Mantell.
No. I'm not looking for spice. I'm looking for supplies.
This is the only shipment in my databanks. One container of spice filed under Village Relief. This mission must be completed. Will you take the shipment to Gizmel Gam?
Now, spice is an addictive and illegal narcotic. There are various types of, I suppose, brands of spice, depending on how it's mixed and how it's cut, I suppose, as we'll find out when we travel to another world, well, another moon, later on. That Gizmelgan of the Ord Mantell government is dealing with a drug illegal in Republic space. Kind of shows the corruption within the government, even now.
Nope. The mission has changed. Destroy the shipment.
I must obey.
Now, I believe before the change to heroic missions...
Mission complete. Shipment destroyed. Commence shutdown.
It's not been a good sport at all now, is it? No, that's just plain stupid.
That's Gizmelgan, of course. Yeah, I think you used to be able to question Gizmelgan as to why he was trying to bring spice into Oradam Village. But, as I say, quests nowadays, for the most part, auto-complete. So, some things are missed out, unfortunately. We did, however, pick up another codex entry on underworld influences. Ord Mantell was once considered a vital supply depot for the Republic military, but the discovery of new hyperspace lanes virtually eradicated the need to route fleets through the planet's local star cluster. The ordnance engineers and military families formerly occupying the planet transferred to distant outposts, and Ord Mantell was abandoned to farmers. The old military-grade spaceports were never decommissioned, however, and it didn't take long for private interests to take them over. In addition to corporations like Zerka, less savory factions from the galactic underworld set up shop. Small-time criminal gangs took advantage of the planet's lack of strong Republic oversight and became thriving operations. These gangsters and corporations have invested heavily in the world's government. Many of Ord Mantell's major political figures are indebted to their corporate and underworld sponsors, and although some of these leaders have left office in disgrace, it has not discouraged the wealthy and unscrupulous from purchasing political influence. Other politicians have pledged to clean up the corruption, rarely succeeding for long despite their noble intentions. Yeah, despite journalists and the Republic Senate even looking into the corruption of Ord Mantell's government and various members of the government being removed from office. Politicians have seen, I suppose, what's the term? A void that needs filling within the government, and believe they themselves should be the one to take up that position. Level 19, and we learned a bunch of new skills. We have the disabling shot, which can interrupt a target's action and prevents that ability from being used for another 4 seconds. Always handy to have an interruption ability. We have a medical probe. Gives you a small amount of healing. And then we have the hail of bolts, which, similar to mortar volley, has a 3-second channel, which launches a wave of blaster fire up to 8 targets within 5 meters of its target area. It's not as powerful as mortar volley, but it doesn't have a cooldown either. Sometimes standard and weak enemies are knocked back by the hail of bolts. We have a mercenary here doing the heroic missions. You'll normally find sometimes higher level players doing heroic missions in the same zone you are. I believe from level 61 onwards, the quest rewards are different to what you would get up to that point. Speaking of, we actually did gain 2 items of armor of the tarnished bolt blaster quality. So, just make sure we're not in any danger first of all. So we have a new chest piece and a new helmet. Not terrible. Seems that player may have needed a hand, but I'm sure they'll be able to handle it. Oh, speaking of, our experience booster ran out. The hail of bolts there. It's quite handy because it allows us to plant it right at our feet if we end up becoming surrounded by enemies. Four out of 5 chieftains dealt with. And we just need to find one more beacon as well.
You did good.
That's Sergeant Tavi Pot thanking us for dealing with the separatist jamming beacons. Now, there should be some Savrips here guarding this beacon, but someone has killed them recently. So I'm just waiting for maybe a chieftain to respawn. While we wait, get 2 more bits of armor. We got a new generator and our first relic. When this relic is equipped, it will give us some endurance and some power, but when healing an ally or damaging an enemy, there's a 30% chance that this relic will activate, granting us 32 extra mastery for 6 seconds. For the most part, we will be making use of relics that give us mastery and give us power that have a chance to activate. Is that a title? I think it might have been. Ah, yeah. Isaac Clarke the Mantellian. Oh. So with that heroic mission complete, we actually earned enough conquest points to earn or complete the Introduction to Conquest quest as well. Just giving us even more items. So before we head back over to Oradam Village, companion gifts, we'll look at that later. Don't need this. Crafting materials, more things to sell. We have some Warzone med packs and Warzone adrenals, which are used in war zones, as you can imagine, which is PvP. And okay, so what do we have here? 2 more pieces of armor and 5 pieces of armor, again of the tarnished bolt blaster quality. We have some wrist guards and a belt. And okay, a power relic. Our first implant as well. Our first earpiece. And another mastery relic, which we don't need. Mastery and power, that's good. The earpiece is there, the implant is there. The same chest piece we just picked up, of course. And yeah, all things look good. Excellent. So, we have a couple of reasons to head to Fort Garnick. We need to find that ethics officer. We also need to find this daughter of one of the villagers, and why some soldiers took her in for questioning. Yeah. Oh, well, we're feeling a bit more protected now. This armor is of better quality. What we'll probably end up doing in terms of adaptive armor for the Republic Trooper, similar to what we did with John Shepard, we'll have combat gear or combat rated gear and armored out, well, gear that we'll wear when we're off duty or when we're just simply on our personal starship. And that'll be true maybe for both us and our companions, depending on how bothered I can be to be swapping their gear out so often. But for Isaac Clarke, we'll certainly probably have 2 different types of armor. And hopefully we don't get caught out in the middle of combat without our combat-rated gear being equipped. So, this is the home of this laborer, this Zach, and we believe his wife as well.
You're a soldier, right? From the fort? Please help us. We're really sick. My wife is dying.
Forget it. I'll be fine, Zach. Just get that soldier out of here.
No, Jollar. Please, soldier. The medics at the fort. I talked to them earlier. Please, tell them to send help.
When did your symptoms begin, sir?
I already told the medics at the fort. I don't know how it happened.
You've been poisoned by radiation from a stolen Republic bomb.
What? You mean... Jollar, do you know anything about this?
Quiet, Zach. We don't know anything about... anything.
They're the reason we're both sick. Aren't they? You're dying because of them!
Zach, don't. You ruin everything. The movement...
The movement sold us out! They don't care about us! They just care about their weapons and their secrets!
No. I'll never betray the movement. Never.
The movement got you into this mess. Why would you defend them?
Jollar, they aren't worth dying for. Think of me. I love you.
If you love me, Zach, you won't betray everything I stand for. Please let me go.
Please, Jollar. No.
If you give me the bomb, I'll give you the cure and forget this ever happened.
I don't have the bomb. But I'll tell you where it is.
Don't, Zach. Don't.
There was this big crate we helped move. I never saw inside, but I'm sure it's what you're looking for. We got sick right after we handled it. We took the crate up to the stronghold. That's the Separatists' main base on the island. Now please, you have to help my wife.
You held up your end of the deal. This injector will heal you both.
Here, love. This will make you feel much better.
No, Zach, please.
Shh. Everything's going to be all right now.
This is a second chance. Make the most of it.
We will. I can promise you that.
Yeah, I don't think your wife's going to be pleased with you, but that's not many of my business.
We're going to be all right now, soldier. No matter what happens.
What's a soldier doing here?
And of course, a certain someone was watching through our body cam once again. Oh, shit! Hi! What are you all doing here? That was awkward.
Come in, Sergeant. I copied everything. Sounds like we're gonna be hitting the Separatists where they live. Good work.
Just doing my duty.
I hope you're ready for this. The mountain stronghold is the Separatists' most fortified position on the entire island. Getting in there won't be easy. I put out the call. Havoc is assembling immediately, so get back here on the double.
I'll head there immediately.
Jorgen out.
Okay. So even though we haven't collaborated the data, is that the right term? Oh, I suppose confirmed the data from the supply outpost controlled by the Separatists. If Zach is telling the truth, the Separatists moved the orbital strike bomb, this ZR-57, to their main base of operations, this Separatist stronghold, which is, of course, in the middle of a volcano, because of course it is. Havoc Squad is assembling.
Reminder, mechanized travel is for official business only.
So I'll take the scenic route. Before we head back to the Republic Command Center once again, we'll complete the side missions. We'll go search for this ethics officer and report the... what do they call it? The obstacle course. And we'll also go in search of the soldiers who took that villager's daughter. Now, the ethics officer, we told, was a drunk and works out of the back of the cantina here.
Oh, great. Let me guess. Ethics violation? Bad people doing bad things and it made you sad? Every day the same scrag, day in, day out. Why me?
Aren't you the ethics officer?
Right. So that means I have to be the moral compass for an entire army of degenerates? So what do you want?
There are troopers out at the minefield blowing up refugees.
You mean the minefield run, don't you? With those wretched refugees. That minefield game has been shut down for months. I made sure of that personally.
Are you positive of this?
Look, I'm sure. I'd even go and check it out for you, except there are reports of dangerous explosions in the area. Oh. Blast it. I'll take care of this, don't you worry. Here, there's a standing reward of credits for squealers. I mean information gatherers.
This place needs serious help.
You don't know the half of it. Watch your step. This war isn't just a free-for-all, you know.
Great. Yeah, I'd go out there myself, but I've heard reports of explode. God damn it. And we have a new codex entry. Ruled by corruption. Centuries of colourful political history and public revelations of high-level government corruption have given Ord Mantell a reputation for untrustworthy leaders. While this attitude is not entirely unwarranted, certain fringe groups believe their world's entire government was little more than a kleptocracy. These activists routinely protested outside of government offices, demanding the elected officials be brought to justice. For a long time, the fringe groups were dismissed as delusional, paranoid, or simply troublemakers. It wasn't until an entire governmental cabinet was forced to step down for accepting bribes that ordinary citizens began taking the corruption claims seriously. This was the birth of the separatist movement. I like that there's a lot of background to the separatists here on Ord Mantell. A lot of it kind of repeats what we've already learned, but it gives you little extra bits of depth as well. We have a phase gate that we won't be able to enter for quite some time. This is part of patch 7.3 or 7.4. When we come back to Ord Mantell at the end game at the moment, in the Legacy of the Sith expansion. Meanwhile, in the aptly named Interrogation Center...
Come on, get in here on the double. We don't have all day.
I already told you. I don't know anything. I swear.
Sure, that's what you said last time we talked. But now I'm thinking maybe you just didn't have enough incentive to tell the truth. Hey, what are you doing here? You're not allowed in here. This is a top-secret operation.
What's going on here?
None of your business, buddy. Move along.
He's lying. They've kidnapped us. They're torturing us.
Shut up!
Ugh. Please, you have to stop them. They're torturing us.
I said shut up! She's a traitor to the Republic. She deserves what she gets. But the courts are full, you see, and so justice needs a little help. If that means Republic soldiers have to twist a few arms, so be it.
Where'd you get this information?
These wretches have been caught, every last one of them, doing work for the Separatists. They are traitors, and more importantly, they have information on Separatist movements. All we're doing is coaxing it out of them. Information that will save so many Republic and Mantellian lives. Who'll care how we got it?
The Republic has more respect for its enemies than that.
Look, we don't like having to do this, but what are our choices? Listen, You take this ring back to this girl's daddy and tell him it's all you could find of his little girl. The ring's got a listening device in it. We'll be able to gather all the evidence we need without resorting to these unsavory means. Got it?
The charade of justice ends now.
Whoa, take it easy. The last thing we need in here is a shootout, all right? What the little traitor's so bad, fine, take her. But the only people you're helping are the separatists.
Thank you. Thank you for freeing me. It was terrible.
Are you really with the separatists?
No, we went to a couple of protests, attended a few meetings, but we never did anything. We certainly don't know anything.
Yeah, sure.
It's the truth. We had no idea speaking our minds would get us marked as traitors.
Best go home to your father and try to stay out of trouble.
I'll call him as soon as I can, but I need to recover my strength. The torture took more out of me than I expected. But thank you. I'd be dead without you.
It's a bit of a moral gray zone. Yeah. Without any hard evidence, they were torturing people.
Haven't you caused enough trouble here?
Now, one thing I will mention is the use of a blaster pistol. You'll see sometimes in cinematics, even though are we able to even use a blaster pistol? I don't know. Let's see. We can use assault cannons, blaster rifles, which is what a vanguard and a standard trooper would use. We don't actually have proficiencies to use a blaster pistol, though you'll sometimes see us wielding one. Now, because we don't have a class which allows us to wield a blaster pistol, or so it seems anyway, we have sometimes in cinematics a generic one. Now, if we did have a class, say we were playing as, let me get this right, a gunslinger or a scoundrel, and we were to pull out a blaster pistol, we'd actually pull out probably the blaster pistol we had equipped in our main hand.
Reminder, mechanized travel is for official business only.
Which in fairness is partially another reason why playing as an operative as our second combat style is tempting. An operative allows us to wield a blaster rifle and a knife in our offhand. And on occasion we may actually pull out or wield a blaster rifle. What I will say is we can actually make use of a blaster rifle right now when some of our skills require us to have an assault cannon equipped. Like the Hail of Bolts here requires an assault cannon. Strangely enough, Mortar Volley does not require an assault rifle. Huh. Yeah, but it might be worth having a blaster rifle on our person, on our inventory. I'm not sure if you need to have it equipped, or maybe just have it in your inventory to use it in certain cinematics. Probably need it equipped, I would imagine.
Thank you. Thank you. You saved my daughter. Everyone, this is the good soldier who saved my daughter. She called to tell me what you've done and how grateful she is. I can't thank you enough.
I'm glad I could help. And I'm glad to see you're doing better.
Yes? Now that my daughter's coming back to me, thank you so much.
You are welcome. Ah, level 21. Okay. Let us be on our way back to Fort Garnick and meet up with the rest of Havoc Squad to plan the assault on the separatist stronghold.
Reminder, mechanized travel is for official business only.
Before we head back to the command center, I'm just going to go quickly look something up. Give me just a moment. Right. You'll do. Let's pull out the wrong side. Star Wars, the Old Republic. Datacrons. And we'll say Ord Mantell. Okay, matrix shards. Oh, I see. Okay. So, one thing I was just quickly looking up there, as we travel to various worlds, there are relics of an ancient civilization known as the Infinite Empire. They have left various datacrons across the galaxy, and they will actually unlock those galactic history entries that you've seen. In addition, when you unlock the datacrons for the first time on a server and part of your legacy, you will actually gain a bonus to various attributes. So, for example, if we find Ord Mantell here, there is a blue mastery datacron and a yellow presence datacron. As I say, these only can be interacted with or activated once, and if you find them again on another character, it'll mention that they've already been interacted with, they've already been activated. In addition, there are also what is known as matrix shards on the various worlds you visit. These aren't mentioned here on the legacy screen, and they can be used and combined to create unique relics. Now, they used to be really good in the base game. Nowadays, they've been, well, there's not really any reason for them. But I think there are some different shards that you can pick up in some of the later expansions, which I've never looked into. The reason I mention this is I was just quickly looking up where the Ord Mantell matrix shard was located.
Mechanized travel is for official business only.
And seemingly it's over next to Manit Point. So if we again cross the beach, then head along this way, During my various playthroughs of this game, I have picked up most of the datacrons, both that boost your attributes, and probably a fair few that most of the matrix shard ones as well. Because the matrix shard datacrons can be picked up again in the future, on each character, we might take our time and pick them up on each world. So, oh, there it is. You can see there's actually a faint glow. We have a Captain Effin Remac here. Datacrons also have an ambient sound. You have located a datacron, an ancient technology once used by the Infinite Empire. This datacron contains a red matrix shard, which can be used at a matrix shard assembler. And there we are, yeah, we have a red matrix shard. Yeah, we might take the time to find the matrix shards. As I say, we probably won't make use of them, as the bonuses they give aren't going to be as impressive as the relics we'll find in the future, as we're just exploring and getting further into the game. But I believe later on there are different shards you can collect, and I don't know what purpose they have. So that might be something I can try and figure out or look up on the internet.
Reminder, mechanized travel is for official business only.
Either way, once again, let's get ourselves back over to Fort Garnick and rendezvous with Havoc Squad. See what the plan of this assault against the separatists is all about.
Whoa, whoa, not so fast, Sergeant. You and me need to have a little talk. I'm Lieutenant Verk. I think maybe you heard of me. See, my boys here saw you having a chat with little Ensign Farn. I know Farn told you about my business, and I know you went and blabbed about it to some very important people. And now, I got a mountain of paperwork to do, hearings to go to, people asking questions, and I don't like that.
You're extorting your own men, Verk.
No, I have one person to blame for these problems. You. Wise up. This island is my little kingdom. I can make sure people live, and I can make sure they die. So you better believe that I'm going to make extra sure you come home from your next assignment in a box, Sergeant.
Don't try to scare me.
You don't have to be scared for accidents to happen. I think we're done here, boys. Let's move out.
Where's the rest of Havoc Squad?
Ah, Sergeant. Welcome back. Grab yourself a seat. You're gonna be observing the op here with me.
Observing what op? Where are Commander Tavis and the others?
Havoc Squad is infiltrating the separatist stronghold to retrieve the ZR-57 as we speak. Commander Tavis was very clear. Under no circumstances can I send you in to join Havoc on this mission. I have to admit, I'm a little surprised. I honestly thought you were starting to come along, but I guess Tavis still isn't convinced you're ready for the big time.
I trust Commander Tavis's judgment.
Maybe next time, Sergeant. I'm sure.
Lieutenant, sir! We've got a situation here.
Talk to me, Ensign. What's going on?
We've lost contact with Havoc Squad, sir. Comms, video locators, everything. It's like they've disappeared completely.
That's unacceptable, soldier! You get back to that terminal, and you get me Havoc status, now!
Yes, sir.
Do you think Zack and Joller set us up, sir?
There's no way to tell from here. Whatever happened was bad.
Still no signal from Havoc Squad, sir. I think we may have lost them.
Alright, listen up, people. This mission will not fail on my watch. We are not going to let that bomb get away again. Infiltrating that stronghold is a mission only Havoc Squad can pull off. Lucky for us, we have one Havoc trooper left. Sergeant, you're going in there. The ZR-57 must not remain in Separatist hands. Is that clear, Sergeant?
Shouldn't I confirm Havoc status, sir? They may need backup ASAP.
The ZR-57 is your primary objective. Once it's dealt with, we'll see what we can do for Tavis and the others. We were hoping to get the bomb back intact, but we're way south of a best-case scenario here. So here's the new plan. We have the deactivation code for the ZR-57. We disarm the bomb, leaving the Seps with nothing but a big radioactive paperweight.
You'll have to hijack the Separatists' comm system to broadcast the code. This data spike should do the trick.
I never thought it'd come to this, Sergeant. I don't need to tell you what happens if you don't pull this off.
I've never failed a mission before, and I'm not gonna start today.
That's what I like to hear. You have the coordinates for the Separatist stronghold. I'm sure you can guess how much security they're likely to have. Breach the perimeter, use the data spike on the comm terminal, and shut the ZR-57 down for good. Thousands of lives are on the line, Sergeant. We're counting on you. Good luck, Sergeant.
Oh, wonderful. So, good news, bad news all around, it seems.
Good luck, Sergeant.
There's no time to waste, Sergeant. Get into that stronghold and disarm that bomb once and for all.
So, Lieutenant Jorgen's actually coming around to us due to our string of successes after the unfortunate incident with Bellis. Unfortunately, it seems Havoc Squad chose to leave us behind during the final mission of the operation to retrieve the orbital strike bomb, and yet, was it communications, locators, everything that was allowing us to follow the progress of Havoc Squad has been lost, which is concerning to say the least. We're gonna have to go in and find out their status. Rather than to retrieve the ZR-57, as Lieutenant Jorgen has mentioned, we are going to try and hijack the Separatist communications system and transmit a signal to the bomb to disable it, leaving it useless both for the Republic and the Separatists themselves. Now, is there anything else we need to mention before we begin? I don't believe so. We actually have our first adaptive weapon. A new assault cannon, which we could use all the way through the game. This weapon could level up with our character. Cosmetically, it's probably not a weapon I would use with some of the armor sets I'm hoping to use in the future. But it is better than what we have equipped. Well, actually, what we have equipped at the moment is absolutely nothing. Yeah, it's actually slightly better, but not by much. But it could be modified to be made better. Okay. What we'll do is take a break here. Thank you all for joining me once again. When we come back, there are a few quests available to us here at Fort Garnick, and then we'll be traveling west to the Separatist stronghold to deal with the orbital strike bomb, to disarm it and make it useless, as well as locate, or hopefully locate, the rest of Havoc Squad. As always, thank you all for joining me here with this early few parts of a new series of Star Wars: The Old Republic. As always, feel free to leave a comment if you so wish, and hopefully I'll see you for even more next time. Until then, no, take care. Bye-bye now.